also like to recognize Coach Ian for being here, my former Rock County coach for our Harrisburg coach. Thank you, Coach Ian, for being here.
Alrighty, we are back.
Back Lady Bulldogs basketball.
We are back in the gym and happy to be back. It is already that time of the year. We have hopefully a good game on store for tonight, and we've got a ton of action headed around the gym. Make sure you follow the Facebook page to make sure that you're getting up on all your Hawks and Lady Hawks action. Boys open next Tuesday, or is it Monday?
They actually go to Grayville on Monday.
On Monday, okay.
Yes.
I knew it was coming up here. So Monday, and then we have a nice ad. We got the Hamilton County Invitational on the boys' side, a nice little new ad that New Wrinkle want to go to Wayne City, so that's nice. And Harrisburg takes the tip away. And up and good. And it looks like Harrisburg's going to come out in a half-court man-to-man defense. Jake Stewart's hoping to have a really good year this year, Jared. They come off of a 16 or 17 win season last year, and they have almost everybody back from that team. So this is a very veteran team they have.
Yes, and like we talked about before the game, anytime you open up with a team like Harrisburg, it's a tough first game for the Lady Hawks.
We were looking at their middle school numbers today, as it's no good there. And JC with a good rebound. We were looking at their numbers today. In the middle school, they have 1,300 kids. I did not realize that Harrisburg got that big.
I didn't realize that either.
That was huge. Me and Mr. Fromm were looking at that today. And I was watching the Lady Hawks in the practice here the last couple of weeks. They were working extremely hard. Those practices have been heated. They have really brought the energy, and I'm really looking forward to this year. And they're working it around, taking their time, not in any hurry. JC goes up for two. Up and good.
Hey, whatever works.
Hey, there you go, JC.
Now, Coach Herman has told me when I talked to him last too how hard these girls were working, and he's just proud of how much dedication they've had so far to practice.
I think something that I really like about them is they are not a me team. They are just as happy when their teammate puts it in the basket. There's no animosity. This group loves to play for one another, and that's awesome when you find that in a squad. And we always preach like the Gallatin County way, and that's a big part of it. You know, not put what happens on the back of your front of your jersey, opposed to what your number and name on the back. And that's what this group does a really good job of. And like I said, they've been working really hard, and I'm really excited. And when you play a Harrisburg team, you obviously know they're going to be physical and they're going to do things the right way. So you have to really be fundamental, and you really have to stay into the basics with them. I talked to Mr. Harmon earlier in the year, and he thought we were going to play defense good enough this year, but his worry was how they were going to score the ball enough. The last couple of years we've recycled a lot of scoring. The last couple of years, we lost Kenzie Russell a couple of years ago, and then Sydney and Carly hit the graduation trail last year.
Right.
There's a lot of points that are up for grabs here, and you've got some kids back, but you don't really.
I think it might take a little bit just to get in the groove and find out who can fill those roles.
Somebody said they want to step into that prominent scoring role, and that's what me and Mr. Herman were talking about. Good closeout by Andrea.
Rebound.
County's really rebounded the ball well so far. And now here comes the pressure. We were talking about this today too. And that's going to be a turnover. And you're going to have those first game jitters, things that make you as a coach go, we don't do that stuff normally, but it's part of it. That happens for sure. Oh, that's a good steal by Jenna.
Steal.
She's got to be strong tape for the rack, draw the foul.
Great job by Jenna Vickery.
And Jenna, 4-year starter. Jenna, they're really going to rely on her early to really kind of pick up the slack for these younger kids and show them the way. And with Mr. Herman, you know you're going to get a ball full of energy. And we always talk about we want our kids to play as hard as we are enthusiastic. And I'm under his tree. I actually was his assistant coach my very first year coaching, and just the amount of intensity that he brings, it's contagious. It rubs off on you. Kids want to play for him, and they love him, and they want to play hard for him.
Our first foul. It looks like it was on.
They always switch numbers year to year. It's so hard to gather that. Let me see here.
24,
J.C. Brugger.
J.C. Brugger.
So now we need to talk about this because this is something different.
You have to explain this.
So 5 fouls now. There is no more 1-and-1. At 5 team fouls, you shoot 2 shots. There's no more 1-and-1, and it confuses everybody. And I'm coaching girls. It's confusing everybody. You got people throwing their hands up with, oh, it's only 6. It's not 7. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
15 foul.
That will take a while to adjust to, and I'm not sure why. It's one of those things, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I'm not sure.
I tell you, the trend that I'm noticing, too, is it seems like there's less fouls called now, and more physicality has approached because they don't want to call that 5th foul and slow the game up on everything. And that's the trend I'm noticing. And I don't know if it's just the referees are making an adjustment, too, because, some of these referees, like the Suits brothers, they've been doing it right at 50 years.
Right.
So, they even said this is like a big adjustment period. And it resets at the end of every quarter. So, second quarter, it'll go back to 0-0 on the foul count. I know, craziest thing you ever heard.
That's very confusing.
It's kind of like it's kind of an NBA format. The only difference is in the NBA, any 2 fouls less than 2 minutes. Any 2 fouls less than 2 minutes puts you in the double bonus. But that's the only variant. But it's really weird.
Get it.
A good trap. Good D.
Well, I think he ended up calling a foul, even though I thought that was a jump ball. Bryce, didn't you?
Yeah, Mr. Harmon's got a pretty good bark there. His girl's in pretty good position there, and he's
called that one on.
He's pretty but Mr. Harmon, you have to understand.
How is
Mr. Harmon? That's about as animated as he'll ever get an official because he is. If you can learn anything from Mr. Harmon, they knock out a good shot. That was a little girl last year. She's a freshman. She's sophomore this year. She's a good player. Mr. Herman, he's tapping positivity. You're not ever going to hear him. He don't even talk down to people. He's one of my best friends, and he just absolutely is. So that's as animated as you'll ever see him get. So he was very adamant they had jump ball there. There you go, Gracie. And get in there. Oh.
They called that foul on Gracie Cox. That would be her 2nd foul already of the night.
That's something she's got to work with, but she's going to stay on the floor. There's 3. No good. Got to box out. That was another thing that we talked about, Mr. Herman. He got something he really wanted to get better at this year was boxing out. And 2 offensive rebounds early, so Mr. Herman's probably not going to be real pleased about that.
Looks like they're going to get a foul on Harrisburg.
Offensive foul. Looks like 12. Come on now, break to the back. And Jared, if you give a team that many opportunities, they are going to burn you eventually.
That's exactly right.
That's what we talk about on my end all the time is make sure teams are getting 1 chance. If they're a 40% shooting team, don't give them extra opportunities because you just double their percentage. So it's just definitely something it'll be interesting to track here, the offensive rebounds. Andrea, good pass
by Andrea Blaine, straight to Gracie Cox and in.
And there's somebody else that we really haven't talked about. She's a 3-year starter and played quite a bit her freshman year, but didn't start. There's another girl that they're really going to rely on. She's going to have to let the ball. 3, got it. And early on, I believe we might be just a little bit nervous. Let's say we're about a half step slow to the ball early on. Those 50-50 balls we haven't owned yet. And I fully anticipate this team will do that as the year goes on. And turnover by Andrea. Harrisburg looking to push.
Another foul called on. They called that on Gracie Cox, which will be her 3rd foul, Bryce, already of the night.
That is a killer.
It's not good, as you guys can probably see. There's still 2 minutes and 28 seconds in the first quarter, and that's the third foul on Gracie Cox.
Good defense by Andre on the help side. Got to look on a little good job. Gracie Cox got 3. Herman showing a lot of confidence in his junior guard here.
It's making me a little nervous, Bryce.
Yeah, she's gonna check out. I figured she had to.
Yeah, I think he had to get her out. Unfortunately, that's a tough one.
Yes,
it's a tough one.
That is. She's a big part of what they want to do this year. She's got that rare ability of she has length and she's got athletic quickness. She's quick like a guard, and she definitely. Riley Russell for 2 get in there. That's another girl that's going to be looked to take on a huge role this year. Last year, it just seemed like she had a ton of nagging injuries. Had an ankle issue that we were helping her ice down throughout the year and stuff. And then this year, as a sophomore, she's going to be looked upon to really step up into that role and provide some big minutes. That's what me and Mr. Herman were talking about the other day. He wants to be quick, and in order to be quick, you have to be deep. You have to go 7 or 8, 9 people on your bench. You can't run 5 kids if you're going to run 90 foot for 28 minutes. So you have to be strong and you have to be fast.
Right, and we might note too that Riley Russell shooting these free throws is the little sister of Kinsey Russell, who we were referring to earlier.
So definitely a pedigree of scoring some baskets.
2 good free throws by Riley Russell.
And after a shaky start, we got a 3-point ball game right now. Campbell County really doing a good job of not giving them easy stuff, making them earn it. And, good help. That's all you can do to close out. That's really good offense. Close out. Herman clapping in approval. You got to stop the drive, and if it's their night from 30 foot, you just have to tip your cap. They're a good shooting team.
You know what? It has been so far.
They're a good shooting team. Get in there, Jenna. Get in there. Yeah. Bang. Nice shot by Jenna Vickery. Me and her were talking the other day. I told her, and she really didn't understand what I was talking about this. I told her, you've got to be a little selfish this year and shoot the ball more.
You know what I like, Bryce, is we talked about those scores that we've had, but now is the time for these girls to step up and shine.
So what I was telling Coach, I was like, here's the part about your team that people don't understand. How do you game plan against a team where any given night there could be a different kid score 25 points?
That's exactly right.
Like in the years past, obviously it was ran through Kinsey and Carly, and she went through Victory. And it was ran through Carly and Kins, and Sid. And then, you key on those kids. We had a rival school that just followed Carly 90 foot, but one kid on her just mirrored her the whole time. And you can't do that with this team because there's an array of girls that can beat you in a different way. So that's why I told Herman, I was like, you're going to be tough to game plan against because who am I going to make a point to stop?
Oh, great defense.
She got to get back and slide over. Good help by Brian. Good move. That's a good move. And I'm going to say this. We're doing a little bit better on the offensive end than I really anticipated. But I'll be honest with you, we've allowed a lot of... And we've allowed a little bit more layups and a little bit more penetration than I thought we would early. So it's kind of obviously you regress to the mean on both. Any Coach Herman team it starts on the defensive end. He prides himself on the defensive side and always teaches the defense the right way, and the offense will evolve. And this group will do the same thing. Be strong, Riley. Be strong.
Good job, Riley.
She's got to do that. She has a size advantage. She's 5'10", 5'11", and she can get to that right hand. You're in trouble. And that's a really good quarter.
Great first quarter by the Lady Hawks.
And I will promise you one thing. Any team that Coach Herman coaches is going to play really hard.
Yeah, I like what you said about his energy rubbing off because I've been watching him down there jumping around and thinking about how tired he might be tomorrow from all of his jumping and screaming. But like you said, it's a respectful jumping and screaming. He's trying to get his players pumped up. He's not yelling at the refs. He's not yelling.
I was talking to, you're right, exactly. I was talking to my dad the other night about that, and we were just talking about how kids are raised different and they're growing up different, and you can't get through to a kid by being demanding of them. They have to fall in love with you and run through a wall for you out of love of not disappointing you. There's no fear factor. It's not a fear factor. You know, some of the old school coaches like Bobby Knight, Lou Henson, these guys that would poke you in the chest until they put a dent in your chest. Those guys are long gone. Thankfully,
yes,
it's more of the you love me so much you're going to run through a wall for me because I'd run through a wall for you. And with that first quarter being over, I need to hit a sponsor up. We want to thank Irving Cable Construction Company and Legence Bank. I bank with Legence. They do a great job. And Irving Cable they're so great for the community. They give back. And any step of the way for our kids, they're always the first to step in and donate. We just want to thank them for donation. And Legence Bank, they've got their hands in everything in our school. I mean, they're at our school all the time for anything from career day to, coming out and talking to high schoolers about balancing checkbooks. I mean, just anything like that. So we thank both those guys for their valiant sponsorship. And in the second quarter here, this is kind of going to be a bob and weave moment here because you got Gracie Cox with 3 fouls. That's obviously probably didn't go the way you wanted to. But we talked about earlier about strength in numbers. And great job by Andrea. And strength in numbers here, but we would love to be in this quarter here.
And I mean, so far, Bryce Riley has really stepped up.
Oh man, hasn't she? And that's what Mr. Herman was really, really hoping that she would do, is that she would take the next big step. Most of the time, freshmen do that. Freshmen, me and my daughter were actually talking about this the other day. There is no bigger gap in competition here than you'll ever play a 14-year-old playing against 18-year-olds. That's the highest gap you'll ever play in any competitive level. Even in college, it's never no bigger than that 4-year gap. And I mean, you're talking about, 18 years old, you could be talking about playing against fully grown women compared to a 14-year-old kid, and still have his, growth. So that freshman step is always big, but always fun to see. You watch Carly do it, you watch Sydney, Kinsey, all the greats. You watch them do it, and now watching Riley take this next step as a sophomore is just going to be really fun to watch.
Up and in.
So 1-2, and now here comes the pressure back. With Harrisburg, you're going to see token man-to-man pressure. They're not going to mug you. They're just going to really try to. They're just really going to try to do that. They're going to try and make you to pick the ball up, get a little bit quicker than you want to get. I just don't agree with that.
I don't know that I agree with that either.
I like Earl back, but I feel like she was running out of bounds right there. I don't believe she was shoved there. No more than girl shove. And I will say this. I was talking about this earlier. I told my dad that I don't think boys can handle the physicality of what girls play. A girls basketball is more of a football basketball mix. It's so physical,
that's right.
so physical, and not for the weak. And just like boys, I believe boys would be in nonstop fist fights if they played as physical as girls do, because the girls, they play so physical, and they just and I tell you what, girls are they are vicious. And my daughter along in there, the thing she does, like, you guys like each other. That way they practice against each other.
We're gonna have to work on not picking up the ball.
Yeah, right there. You gotta attack the press. That's the part that. Oh, good idea. Let it go. Good idea by Jenna. Main thing about the press is you want to take your time. You want to get good spacing, and you want to make good crisp passing. You don't want to take one dribble and pick it up. And that's just stuff that they'll learn. You have to understand. Sydney and Carly, I know I keep going back to them. They left last year. Those were the 2 press breakers. They press. Now you got a whole group of kids that are expected to break the press.
Great. Oh, that was a great try.
That was a great move. I thought she was going to go up and under right there. And I tell you what, this team, I noticed right off the bat, they play hard.
They do play hard. I'm so impressed by them so far and how they don't seem intimidated, which is a great thing.
They don't.
Coming out in your first game against a way bigger school and a school that didn't lose many kids, and they're sticking right with them.
And this Harrisburg team, they've got big dreams this year. I mean, I think they're thinking about winning the river to river this year, and that's Massac County, Murfreesboro, all kinds of big schools. And now Galton's going to get back. Big pivot. Good close out. That's good team defense. Good box out by Andrea. That is excellent box out by Andrea. I sure hope my junior high kids are watching that, because that is what it's about.
I've always enjoyed watching Andrea play. I mean, she is just, I always say this, and I say this in a nice way, but she's just as scrappy player, and she's tough. She will get in there. She doesn't care where it is, what it is. She will get in there.
That's an excellent point. I mean, just one of those kids will just put their nose in everything, and I mean that in the best possible way. And
It's a good thing.
and you just absolutely wants to be around the ball. Absolutely don't mind to get into a spot that's probably not real favorable. She's just a really great kid to watch. I've really enjoyed watching her these 4 years. As of all these kids, I mean, I know I've grown up. These kids have grown up around me. I know all these kids. It's great to watch them, and they're great young ladies. That's the great part. And just working through some things early here. Mr. Herman's got a few little extra wrinkles that he puts in that that Matt didn't have. A little bit different concept. A lot of the same fundamentals, but just different concepts. And always when you're you gotta hustle back. No foul, Andrea. Gotta box out. That's going back to those second and third chance opportunities. You give people 3 and 4 chances, they can hurt you. You can't pick the ball up right there.
Another thing I'd like to note, and you guys can see half of it on the broadcast, but we have a great crowd here tonight.
We do. Both sides have
Both
really
sides,
shown out.
yes.
You can just tell. It's always like, it's awesome. I know I touched on it up and in. I know I touched on it, but that crowd for Riley last night was that not amazing?
That was fantastic.
That's what I had somebody from North City come up to me and say, you know what? I'll say this about people from Gallatin County. You guys take care of each other, and you're all about each other. And that is the Gallatin County way. That's what we were talking about. I was just talking to you before the broadcast, bragging. Coach Herman helps us with the junior high girls when he's not coaching, as Harrisburg picks up a foul. As he's coaching, the high schoolers going in breaks. He came all the way down to New Simpson Hill to watch us. We were 10-0, and they were 11-0 when we played. And he came down, and the girls we're just one big family. I mean, we just all. I went to his boys' 3rd grade basketball league in Harrisburg. I mean, we just really take care of each other. Get in there, baby. Bang! What a shot. She's got it. That's the thing. Me and Coach Herman were talking about. They got to have a hair trigger this year. They can't be scared to shoot. They're not overly sized. They don't have a distinct advantage in the post. They've got to take their shots. If they get 30-footers and they like the way it looks, they got to fire. And Coach Herman going to do something he doesn't do normally. He's going to take a timeout. So that's a running joke. That's something we definitely were talking about. Was me and Mr. Herman and Coach Law were talking. He probably has accumulated a year's worth of timeouts that he hasn't used. Me and him, we're always on it because he just doesn't ever use them, because I think one thing is he's so hyped. He doesn't want to. If you know him, he can't sit still.
He doesn't want to stop.
He don't want to sit still, so he don't want to stop and just talk. He wants to just keep it moving, and definitely something with that though. I'd like to get to another sponsor here. We have Jeremy and Amy Knott along with Steve and Candy Drone. The Knotts and the Drones are just awesome members of the community. They support anything and everything, sports and kids. She would probably be mad at me for telling you about this, but Amy Knott has done the Angel Tree now for close to a decade. She helps over 110 kids every year, make sure that everybody gets to open up something for Christmas. Just a lot of underlining work that not a lot of people know about. Right. And like I said, she probably had me by the throat if she knew that I was telling that right now on the broadcast. If you're listening, Amy, I'm sorry, but I feel like you definitely deserve the recognition for that. And then, the Candy, she don't ever miss it. She travels all over and goes wherever. And we just another pillar of the community, and they always help. So I just want to thank them for their sponsorship. I want to thank all of our sponsors. It's not possible without them. And Gracie's got to be careful. She's about to send me into an absolute panic attack. She has 3. Up and in. And a game like this, there is definitely like a welcome to the show game, because it's not like a lot of big schools usually schedule a tune-up, you know, and they'll play somebody maybe a little smaller than them. Captain comes right out of the gate punching way above their weight right off the bat. I love it though. It kind of gives you that we're the little guy. We're not scared of anybody. And they're gonna get Gracie for the travel, which probably did, but I think there's plenty of contact as well. And 3.
She's got a good shot.
They got good form. I mean, they shoot the ball well. Oh, that was a good.
Great defense again. They were on it and made them make a mistake.
I mean, the philosophy is going to be simple. We're going to help over. We're going to run you off of it. We're going to run you out of the paint. And if you can make 12, 15 3-pointers and beat us, then fine. We're not going to give you the paint. We're not going to let the ball in candy land. That's what we call the junior high level. We're not going to let the ball in candy land. We're not going to let you just take your shots. You're going to take your 30-footers, and we're going to live with the results. And Gallatin County they've showed, I'll tell you what, for a first game, we've showed really good, showed really good patience early on, especially for a team that's, you know, that's got some new faces and new places. Harrisburg moves the ball really well. That's what I talk about, half step slow to the ball right there. That's a heck of a move.
I will tell you that she is impressive to me. You said, is that the one you said was just a sophomore?
Yeah, she's a sophomore.
She's
is really good.
Really good player.
And a really good kid. I talked to her last year. Sometimes she actually, at the El Laredo Classic, it's not the El Laredo Hall of Tournament girls, El Laredo Classic, she actually made like 7 3-pointers in a game.
Wow.
She's very talented young lady. And then
back to our sponsors just in general. I know you're getting ready to name off
yes,
some, but I will say, you know, all of you watching tonight and all of you watching the boys' games that we do, it's just, this has been such a blessing really to our community. The people that live far away, the people that can't get out, the people that just would want to take a night and sit on the couch and watch Hawks basketball. We couldn't do it, like you said, without all the sponsors. So we appreciate everybody on this list so much.
Absolutely. You're just talking like my dad, you know, in his 70s, you know, I mean, he doesn't have a child on the team. So on a night we have to go to Gauconda on a Tuesday, he might not be as apt to take that trip, but he's got his iPad and he's watched more Hawks basketball the last 3 years than he has, you know, since I graduated. And there's so many people you hear that from. I get such a kick out of going back and watching, looking at YouTube and seeing that the game will have 928 views for no bigger streaming service than we are. It's just like, that's crazy. It's crazy that people watch it like that. And the kids, what I find funny is the kids watch it a lot more than you think. The kids go back and they watch it, and they really like some nicknames you come up with or something. They'll like, you know, they always come back and say, "Oh, I can't believe you said that," or "That was funny when you said it." They pay attention. So that's what it's all about, is for the kids, recognizing our young athletes that you know, that work so hard.
Way to be tough, Briley.
Yeah, she brings some toughness and grit.
She won't back down.
No, she is. Good take, Andrea. Get in there, girl. Good take. And that's what I said. She's going to have the green light stuck on. And what I mean by that is that, like me and Mr. Herman talked about, just every now and then force a shot. I mean, don't take a bad shot, but don't be scared. Don't be scared. Good defense, Gracie. And Riley's got to go. All the way be strong. Oh, good pass. That was a good pass.
It was a good try.
That was a little bit late. She's seen that develop just a little bit late, but they're working hard. You've seen three white jerseys on the ground trying to get that ball. That's what it's all about. And just, but yeah, well, it looks like right now you have three seniors rather, a junior and a sophomore on the floor there, so, you know, a little bit of mix. And good box out by Gracie. These officials have got to get in the groove too. He forgot to blow his whistle when it went out of bounds. so you know,
he's looking at his whistle to make sure it's still working.
We've all got to get back in the groove. I mean, there's going to be so many hiccups.
And I think that one was a little bit close of a call.
What it was is he probably wanted to call the foul, to be honest with you. He wanted to call the foul there, but instead of that, he just goes possession, which I'll be honest with you, I'm all about.
Yeah.
If you know it's not malicious and you got two teams just battling for it, just give the ball to who the foul is on. Give the team that team and just keep on. Got to step to the ball, ladies. Got to step to the ball, ladies.
That was a good move.
That was. Good job, Riley. Good job, Riley. Good crossover. Layup, girl, get in there. And one. Woo!
That was just
pretty little sweet.
That was fun to watch.
That's what she brings to the table. Athleticism. It's just stuff they don't teach. It's like some of these kids, it just oozes off of. Andrea's another person just has gifts that you can't teach, and and that's what I tell all these girls sometimes is that some of this stuff you just can't teach. Don't look now, the Hawks got it to 8 with a minute to go, and that's a 3. No good. Got it. Good. Oh, good up floor. Good job. Got to be strong. Oh, good try.
Wide open.
Got to take care of it.
That would have been a big possession, Maurice, for us.
Yeah, that would have. I always say how you handle the last 2 minutes is how you win the game.
Up and strong. Way to go.
How you handle the last 2 minutes.
Fantastic.
If you can win the last 2 minutes, first 2 minutes and the last 2 minutes, you can win games. I know that sounds cliche, but good closeout by JC right there. They're swinging the ball around. Got to close. She's tough. That's a really good offense. That's really good defense, I'll tell you.
Take it to her, JC.
Get in there. Oh, good take. And that's the first half here. Bulldogs 34, Hawks 23. Cut it to 8 with a minute to go and allowed that 3. But other than that, really good half for the Hawks, I think.
I will say that every girl on our team has played with intensity, and they aren't showing any kind of being. I mean, maybe they had some jitters in that first little bit, but that's quickly worn off. And
what I liked about the first half is that you may beat us, but you're going to take it at us. We're not backing away from you. You're not going to come in here and bully us in our own house, and I like that. And that's a culture thing, and that's what we really try to instill in our junior high kids is that you can beat us. That's okay. Winning and losing is all part of the game we play. But just don't let somebody bully you into playing their way. Go down on your terms. And that's what we're doing in the first half. So we'll make some adjustments. We'll clean up some offensive rebounding, and I think we're going to have I think we'll play a pretty good second half. I hope so, anyway.
I hope so, too.
So we'll be back, and it looks like 9 minutes, guys. We'll be back.
haven't changed our quarter, Bryce.
No, we're still in preseason mode too.
Yes, it is. It's been a while.
We got our jitters too. So we're gonna go. See, that's why I argue this in high school and sports. Just go.
It's not the second quarter, Bryce.
Just go to halves. Just go to halves. First and second half. Man.
Speaking of that, a lot of us went to the SIC game to watch our Riley rushing last night, and I will say college games are way more fast-paced than high school games. It's just back and forth.
Well, 20 minutes, especially a junior college game, because no media timeouts after the 16, 12, 8, and 4 mark,
Yes,
so,
and it probably, too, is, the shot clock, and they're just,
sure, it's up and down.
Fast.
It's a totally different speed. I was so glad our young kids got to see that.
I was, too. I thought it was awesome.
That was great.
And I think it was great for Riley, too, just to have that support.
Oh, it was good try there.
There she is. Made her way to the basket. That foul was on number 1.
And that's going to be on...
that's Andrea Blaine.
Okay, that's her first. So, hey, there you go. And you can just tell, man, I'm not in the gym with these kids at all, the Harrisburg kids. You can just tell this girl right here takes pride in her shot. Her form's pure. You can tell it's something that she puts time in on. You can tell that don't get slopped together 3 minutes before you play.
Yes, that's all right.
I mean, she's a heck of a ball player. And as a speak of the devil in a shell here, I said that she is not committing like one foul day. Now she picked up her second and consecutive possessions. She is, me and her were talking about that earlier, is that sometimes last year she couldn't keep herself on the court, due to fouls and just worried about using her feet more and less hands. And it looks like she's obviously made an adjustment. I mean, only 2 fouls in the third quarter. That's really good. So
it is, especially when you play as hard as she does and get all up in.
When you play the guard position, you're guarding guards. I mean, that's just going to happen. Girls punch you lead. Got a box out. Mr. Herman talked about that at half.
Another foul on the Hawks.
And that is Andrea. No, that's not. That is.
That was Riley Nelson.
Riley. That's another 1-for-1s.
That is Riley's second foul of the night.
Can't play behind. And goes. Got a box out. Everything right, but the box out. That's so disheartening when you play great defense and then you just don't finish the possession off.
Well,
I don't call that on the floor. In the NBA, that would have been an M1.
That foul was on.
Looks like J.C. Brooker is who they're going to get.
J.C. Brooker, that's her third foul, and that is our team 4th foul. So we might get to see this free throw thing in action.
Yes.
Because we still have 6 minutes and 55 seconds remaining.
So I guess we played 1 minute and 5 seconds and committed 4 fouls. That's a good closeout. That's good. You got to close out the shooter. And they shoot the ball. Good roll. Way to go, Pam. Good take.
Harrisburg fans did not like that call.
Yeah, you never want to admit, I never like it when they call foul. I don't ever like the foul call when it's against us either. So I have no qualm about that. Gracie Cox going to shoot a pair. And she knocks down a pair. And gotta play defense and good. And they're going to get Briley, I believe. That is going to be our team 5th, so they will shoot 2 the rest of the way.
That's 3 on Briley Nelson and team 5th. You know, that makes a big difference, Bryce, now that they're, shooting 2 shots every time.
Now every reach-in is a 2-shot penalty. Yes, it definitely. And they had that on 12 originally, but we don't have 12 on the team this year, so that is Riley. She's going to sit down with 3. And Harrisburg's ballooned us up to 15 here. And I hear some fans below us talking about why they changed it. And I agree totally. I'm not a fan. I think it's going to make the rest of this whole quarter just really wild. But the good news is, if you want some good news, it will reset in the 4th and it'll start over. That is the good news. So I guess it's just some give and take. Good pass.
There you go. Great pass. And great finish by Gracie Cox.
And great job by Riley absorbing that contact. She's in contact going to the sideline right there. Compose herself.
This is a good move.
Yeah. It's just changed a lot since I played. I mean, that would be a travel 15 years ago. Now it's a Euro step and a great move. It just depends on what side of the aisle you're on. That's a really great move because it is an illegal maneuver now, and it is hard to guard. Get in there one time.
Come on.
You got to hustle back now.
Go.
And there we go. Andrea saying, hold up, let us get back. And 2 more burns. And Gracie going to do some hand on the ball. Oh, good pass. Good fake by Jenna. Get in there, baby. Ooh, nice try. Good shot. Oh, good job by Jenna. Good job by Jenna. High hands, closed hands. I love it. I love it. And 4, if she gets those feet set, it's automatic.
I don't know where we were on that one.
No,
we weren't there.
Late rotation. I think a little bit of miscommunication, which is to be expected early about who has who. She gets her feet set, and you are in a world of trouble. Go, Phil! And Harrisburg.
Sorry, I was a little late on the camera rotation there. I got into it. We've got 3 minutes and 46 seconds to go, and in the 3rd quarter, the Bulldogs have taken a 20-point lead.
Yeah, down 11.5, and just one of those things where I feel like for as aggressive and after it as we were in the first half, I feel like we've been on our heels a little bit the first 4 or 5 minutes of this to start this half, and I think that's what Mr. Herman's really talking about, is about not being afraid to step in there, know where you're at on defense. Those are the ones that drive the coach crazy. You know, the missed 3-pointers and missing a shot or a rebound going off your hands. Those you just live with. But the ones that where you're not where you're supposed to be defensively and you give up a wide open shot because you don't know who you're guarding, those are the ones that keep you. It's the ones that keep you up at 2 a.m. And that's why you're eating little Christmas tree snack cakes in the kitchen at 2 o'clock in the morning, because you can't get past what you're doing. And it's just
seems like something you've done before.
I've done a lot. These kids will keep you up at night.
That's for sure. We got a 10-second call there.
That was a very fast 10 seconds. Pressing when you're up 20, not just a humongous fan of that. And so, but They're gonna go. Looks like Galton's gonna show a little bit of a zone here.
It's kind of a weak call, I would say.
Especially, I don't mean this in a rude way. Especially on the girls' side of the ball. That's no more than just the high five as you walk in the gym, because that's the sport. It's just physical. We talked about that. That's what Mr. Herman was talking about. He didn't agree with that either. I just think that's weak. And I believe he believed that she traveled a little bit before that too.
Great job by Gracie Cox.
Gracie always, what's funny about Gracie is she always looks like she's out of control, but really she's in control with those long arms. It always feels like she's like on the verge of losing the ball, and she has it. I mean, she's played like that. I've watched her play since the 6th grade, and she has always played that way. It's just like everything she does is kind of loose and really athletic looking, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, she's not got the ball, and she'll have it the whole time. It's really something. It's really something to see.
They're still pressing us, Bryce.
What's that?
They're still pressing.
I know. It's not. But here's the reality of it. This is good practice for us.
I agree.
We've got to learn.
That's
We got to
exactly
learn because
right.
if teams identify a weakness, they'll exploit it. So, in the conference, Pope County's probably going to try to do a lot of that and and we're going to have to learn how to handle it. Good screen by Gracie.
That's right.
There we go. And now there's the whistle blowing.
Foul on Harrisburg, number 1. That is only their second team foul of this quarter with 2 minutes and 51 seconds.
And another thing they're doing to get some of this pressure off the officials, they quit tracking them after 5 team fouls, so it'll show 5. It'll show 5.
Even if it's 20,
Yeah,
it'll
it's
show
20,
5.
just like it did in 10, just like the old way.
Okay.
In 10, so you're not going to ever. Oh, good. That was a good idea. Just a little bit late. And then I think what Jenna's. Oh man. And Gun County trying to take the air out of it just a little bit here. Take your time. Good look. And that's what I'm talking about. Right there.
Foul on Harrisburg's number 2. That was her second foul. Team third. 2 shots.
Yep. Definitely tell those tired legs as the game goes on. Those controls end up going shorter and shorter. Yeah. Paul. And it's short again. Are you making the trip up to Grayville on Monday?
I'll be there. It's a short trip for me.
I don't miss a lot of games. I'm gonna have to see. I've not missed an opener in a long
The debut,
time.
Bryce.
I know. I like to miss the openers of either squad. Good job. Get in there, Gracie. Oh, good take. That's a good take. That was a good take.
I was also going to look on my schedule here to see. I don't think we have. The boys are at home on the 21st against Carmine. That's their first home game. And then I think our next home girls game is not until November 28th. Woo! Against El Dorado, who looks like they are here scouting us tonight.
All right. Is that who that is at their 2 rows?
I think so.
Now, here's the deal. This El Dorado, for the rivalry that there's been in the past, the girls are actually pretty,
Yes.
they are buddies. I mean, it's a lot different now. I blame like travel softball and club sports have really changed the landscape on that. We're just not getting there, Jenna. Good shot. Got to shoot that shot. I don't care if it goes in or not. Got to shoot it. Good hustle back. And just absolutely not the rivalries. You like my daughter Abby plays Scrabble with a bunch of Harrisburg kids, and they're all buddies. And it's not the same. That part of it is different. So.
Trip up there.
Yep, and looks like we're gonna get. That's gonna be Riley's first. We'll stay team super fifth.
2 shots. Beautiful shot.
Yes.
Just a good looking shot.
They definitely are fundamental. And I'll tell you something that I've noticed, that they are going to be deep off the bench. They've got 3 or 4 kids that they can just plug in, and it definitely, you don't really notice who's in and who's not. The Hathaway kid that's actually up top, number 5, is just a freshman. She's a really nice ball player, really nice athlete, 3-sport athlete.
A lot of these girls from Harrisburg, I will say, you can tell they are very talented.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And closing out the quarter here, Canton County just looks like we might be just a little bit tired. Playing against people a lot taller, a lot stronger than you. Definitely get in there, Jenna. It's all right. Got to shoot that. She's got to shoot that shot with confidence. That's okay. And that's what Coach Herman just keeps preaching. Just keep firing. So that's what's going to have to happen. We're going to have to find creative ways to get the ball moved.
38 seconds.
Got 38 seconds to go here. And I'm thinking Galton's going to hope for 1. And that was a good backdoor cut by Gracie right there. That was good. Harrisburg's 3rd team foul. Drive 5. Gotta go strong. Good take. Get in there. Oh, that's a good offense. That's really good offense. Those are a lot of shots here we will make as the year goes along. Those are really good looks. We're just not getting the results we want.
He's got his hand up for a foul, Bryce.
And that will be our super duper 5th.
Well, actually, I don't think he had his hand up for a foul, but then I think he changed his mind.
Okay. Yep.
See Coach Lawler over there in the team. I'm kind of just assuming they got picked up another win tonight.
When I left, he's got all the hair on his head still, and they were up 18-2 when I left in the first, so I'm going to assume that it went okay. And it looks like all of his boys are still.
We're happy for the both junior high squads that are having great seasons so far.
Yeah, we both squads are collective. I guess it would be roughly right around 19-1 as a collective group. The girls are 11-0, and I think the boys are now 8, 9-1 or something like that. So both are having really good years, really good kids too. So that's something for you to look forward to. A really good group of athletes coming up the turnpike for the high school. And then let me get to another sponsor here. We'd like to thank Mike Gross and Sons Heating and Air. I'll tell you about Mike. He's worked on my air conditioner and heater a lot, and that guy, it does not matter when you call him. When you look his number up and call him, and if he's not doing anything, he'll be there. He's came out to my house before 10:30, 11 at night to get my air running. He's a great guy, real reliable, dependable, trustworthy guy. Highly recommend. Also like to touch on Charlton's Auto Body Shop. They do really great cosmetic work. Banterra Bank. Go check out a Hawks alum, Andrew Drone. And we're going to announce a 50-50. And we got John and Kathy Seeley, New Hope Church, and then Ellison Concrete Construction LLC. Ellison did some work for me in concrete, and they are really good, and they do an awesome job. And we thank all of you guys for your sponsorship. Could not do it without you. And then I'm going to try to change this to the fourth quarter because I am trying to stay in mid-season. I'm trying to get in mid-season form. So, fourth quarter here is among us. And 2 more points, Jared, and we get into the continuous clock. Nope. Oh, good hands, high hands. Oh, there's a leak out. And now the scorekeeper, he doesn't have to ever worry about screwing the clock up again. That's what I'm talking about. Have you ever tried to keep the clock?
I haven't.
Oh, it's so
seems very stressful.
I get caught ball watching, like the camera, how our camera doesn't move.
Yes, that's
you
exactly
get caught
right.
doing that.
And in intense games, I would not want to be
it's terrible.
the clock keeper.
0 stars. Terrible. So thank those guys.
Well, and tonight we have Carter Herman, who's just a freshman, helping out down there on the score table. So thank you to Carter.
Oh, definitely. And it looks like there's going to be a line change for Dalton County here.
Like you said, Bryce, we are at continuous clock. We've got about 6.5 minutes, and we are going to sub in. We've got Hannah Forster, Mariah Porter, Briley Nelson, JC Blair, Alyssa Henry on the floor.
And it looks like Harrisburg is going to make a line change as well. And we got 5:50 to go here. And the main thing to do is just, it's a long season. We're going to, a lot of, good thing is Harrisburg plays a class, and not this year, but in years past, they played a couple of classes above us. So this is a really good measuring stick. We've identified some stuff that we're going to have to get better at. We've also done a lot of good things too.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of things to be proud of. We played so hard tonight, we really have. And it's not stopped what could be a really productive season. The way the girls have worked, I'm really encouraged by what I've seen tonight. A team like Harrisburg, they just keep coming at you. You gotta have 10 or 11 rounds of stamina because they just keep coming at you. And when did you say the next Lady Hawk high school game is? Did you?
I pulled that up. Let's see. It doesn't look like they play until November 28th. Would that be right? 2 weeks?
Oh, man, that sounds like a long time. Sure there's not a McLeansboro tournament coming up in there somewhere? I'll have to refer to my schedule, but that sounds like a long time. I know that it's not going to, Mr. Herman was discussing giving them off tomorrow. After that first game, you always got a lot of what I call jet lag. And we were talking about giving them off tomorrow.
Good pass.
And just talk about, we do have a couple days off, I believe, coming up.
Let me look. I have the official schedule here.
All right.
You're right. There is a Hamilton County tournament.
I thought so. It's always this time of year.
It is November 20th through November 25th.
Yep,
so that's kind of their Thanksgiving tournament. It looks like they play Monday at 8:30.
Yeah.
So they have a late game on Monday.
That was 8:30 red eye games. Always fun. The other one, Trumpstad, is the 10:30 game that you play at Ohio tournament. Yeah.
Sometimes can turn into like an 11 o'clock start, and
it's
pretty late.
Yeah, I try to stay for the half. Unless our team's playing, they'll stay for all. But you're dedicated. We were talking about that as a whole. Is that not just one of the best traditions in Southern Illinois?
Absolutely.
The EHT. It's like.
Well, I grew up in El Dorado, so I definitely.
It is definitely.
Been going since I was.
I mean, people even from not around here get in there, and people from not around here talk about that, and it's just awesome. Got to get back here. Coral up in 2. And she's about a 5'11" to 6 foot freshman, and she throws a softball about 60 miles an hour. She is a really good kid too. I really like her. I enjoyed it. The time I coached her, I really enjoyed it. And line change for Harrisburg here. And we are counting down. I want to give a shout out if Caitlin Drone's still listening. The 2nd grade is the best grade in the elementary. We rock, if I do say so myself. So I just want to give her a shout out if she's still watching. Don't know if she is or not, but I want to give the 2nd grade a shout out. So as we're closing out here, 2 minutes to go. We got the McLeansboro tournament next week. And it looks like young Kate Holloway is going to get her first taste of the varsity action here this next dead ball. And Harrisburg up for 2. And good. And we're going to let the sub come in. And another sub for Harrisburg. They just sprang. They come at you. They have a ton of kids. And they are athletic. They are a great ball club. And I tell you what, Galt County. And she's going to shoot a pair of free throws, and we got 57 seconds left. The first one's up and no good. And Caden, she's looking to attack.
Help!
And rebound, good rebound. And I'm on the opposite end. And 10 seconds, and that is probably going to just about wrap it up. And that's going to wrap it up. And that will do it. Final score 31-68. Great effort by the Lady Hawks today. Just ran out a little bit of steam in the second half. We will be back in action later on in the month here. We got a ton of sports come out and see it.